Greetings, I'm Baja Parker. I'm the Director of Strategy at a web company, and I get the opportunity to work with associations, educational institutions, municipalities, corporations, nonprofits, in bringing their digital experiences to life. So I get a lot of opportunity to talk about the content that they're producing and whether or not their target audiences are actually engaging in it. And so I would love to chit chat with you guys for just a few minutes about what that could mean for your church and the engagement of your congregation and guests with your content. At the end of the day, you really do care. You care if someone is watching and experiencing the Word of God and sermons and scriptures and thoughts and words of encouragement and the images and the posts and the videos that we put online via our websites or YouTube or Facebook. Do people really see them? Do they watch them? Do they watch them all the way through? Are they sharing them? Are they responding to them? And what does that mean for what you do next? And so I'm going to take some time today just to work through a quick example. The quick example is based on the church that I have been serving since the pandemic, and that is Metropolitan AME Zion Church. This local church congregation operated very differently before the church building closed. The primary touch points for the congregation were all within the building. There are conference call lines set up for when there was inclement weather or when a meeting needs to be conducted outside of the space and for our prayer call. But besides a conference line, Metropolitan meets for worship, for Bible study, for Sunday school, and for other touch points in the building. When the COVID-19 pandemic happened and we needed to shut down, the pastor requested that we pre-record videos and that we would put them online. And so that's exactly what we have begun to do. We have a very small congregation, and so this data set is very small. That's okay though. You can still get insights from only a little bit of data. And I just want to encourage you to be sure to jump in and check it out. And so the first thing that I want you to consider when you're thinking about data informing decisions is that know that this data exists so that a digital platform can try to make you pay some money in order to get more engagement, to improve these metrics. And so most digital platforms are monetized based on the data that they provide to producers and advertisers. And now you, as a creator of church content, as a publisher of sermons, of worship experiences, of lessons, of tools and resources online, you're now producing content, not just consuming content. And that also means that you can have advertisers against your content, or that you can use advertisement to drive more traffic to your content. Again, either way, whether or not you're going to monetize your content strategy or not, I want you to be sure to glance at your video analytics and engagement metrics to make data-driven decisions. It's important. When you consider your approach to looking at data for insights, I want you to keep three things in mind. The first thing are, what are your objectives? And that's not as it relates to the digital property, but what are your objectives with this content, with the audiences that it is purposed for? If you're putting your online worship experience together, then you actually want somebody to watch it. And your expectation is probably that they'll be watching as much of it as possible. And so perhaps you're putting your corporate worship experience online for your congregation to worship together. That is a very clear and fair objective that we can then identify some metrics to follow up about. What else might you want people and users, congregants, to do with your content? Do you want them to react to your content? Do you want them to like your content? Do you want them to share your content? Do you want them to comment on your content? The level of engagement that you want or that you need becomes your objective for how the world interacts with what you're putting online through these digital mediums. The second consideration is concerning audiences. You'll have your core audience, and then you'll have growth audiences. Your core audience is probably your currently active congregation that sees you week to week or Sunday, Monday. You have your core audiences, and then you have your growth audiences. Your core audiences will likely be those that are already active within your congregation. Your growth audiences may be those that are friends or families of your congregation, those that have visited you in person but don't attend regularly, or others that just find you within their social feeds or be recommended to you through algorithms that show related content. Your core audience and your growth audience will likely have different user behaviors. And you understand this just like you would within the congregation setting. You have some people that are very actively involved and they're leaders. We have others that are merely participants within the structure or the order of worship. And then you have some that are just visiting to spectate, just to watch, not necessarily to participate. And so those audiences and those behaviors do translate online. And so you will have some that will always share, always comment, always subscribe for your next opportunity to be posted and them to be notified. And then you'll have others that will be introduced to you on the fly, seeing your video playing in their feed. And these are more like your visitors. And so you would have different expectations for those growth audiences than for your core audiences. So far, what I'm observing is that congregations that have strong core audiences will see those core audiences experience the majority of their content all the way through. So if you're putting out a 45-minute video, your core audience might watch 45 minutes of that video. Your growth audiences might just be jumping in and jumping out 30 seconds at a time. Lastly, when you consider your objectives, what you really want out of this content, your audience engagement, the different behaviors between your core and your growth audiences, you also want to think about the metrics. What might I be looking at to measure whether or not my content is achieving my objectives for these audiences? So here we go. Just a quick concept and some glances into YouTube and Facebook. As far as a concept is concerned, I wanted to go ahead and throw the pre-recorded video from the church onto YouTube and Facebook. And the pre-recorded video that this was based around was exported to YouTube. The YouTube video was embedded on the church website, and then the church website and the YouTube video were also posted to Facebook. I then boosted that post at a cost of $10 for a duration of 1 day. So basically, the first video that we put up during the pandemic, I uploaded online to YouTube. I shared that video from YouTube to Facebook, and I boosted the Facebook post with a targeted audience that was already related to the church Facebook page and those that had similar interests within our local demographic. Lastly, I also uploaded the video directly to Facebook to see if I would see any difference between the engagement metrics for the video on YouTube, the video on YouTube shared to Facebook, and the video natively on Facebook. So here's a glance at the video details for the first video that we uploaded from the church to YouTube. This video is on the basic screen, which means this is just the information that was used for the public post or the premiere. If you look on the left-hand side here, you see that there's an analytics section that you can then click into. And when you click into this analytics section, you see the wonderful analytics for this short video. And as you can see, once again, we don't have much data, but this is showing the data from the beginning of April until now when it was published. I'm actually going to change the time that we see over here to, since the movie was uploaded, what were the views, what's the watch time, and did anybody subscribe? Those are the first metrics that we ended up introduced with. And so that means that this video was viewed 152 times, and most of the views happened when it was posted. So on Sunday, March 22nd, the day it was posted, it was viewed 96 times. You can see that on following weeks that there may or may not be some increase on Sunday with those that are probably watching another video on the channel being served or seeing the next video within the playlist. But overall, we see that we have 152 views since the uploaded lifetime of the video. And then if we click into watch time and hours, that 22-minute video was watched in total 16 hours. That metric is a bit arbitrary, but there are some metrics that really provide some insights, like audience retention. This audience retention metric is trying to get a sense of how well your video keeps people watching. Viewership data for each moment of your video can help you understand how to keep viewers engaged. And as you can see, when you start at the beginning of the video, there was a higher level of engagement, and as the video goes on, it basically plateaus and engages a percentage of the audience throughout. That means that for my 22-minute video, 21 minutes and 58 seconds, the average watch time was actually just 6 minutes and 24 seconds of that total video. That means that about 30% of my video was watched. And so though I know the number of views, it's really important for me to also consider what percentage of my video is shown to the end user. That means that I should not assume that they saw the entire service. As a matter of fact, the majority of the end user audience just watched a portion of it. And in addition to the overview, there's also a section within Video Analytics Reach, and Reach can help you to understand where that video is, how it's positioned, and where it's getting the most traffic from. This video was posted on the church's website, so most individuals saw it there. Others saw the video as it was posted on Facebook. And then we can also see the percentage that found this video through YouTube search, as well as the percentage that went directly to this video from a link that was likely shared to them. And so it does help to know where the traffic for your videos are coming from. The other thing that it's interesting to glance at is impressions and how they led to watch time. So that means that you ended up getting 201 impressions, and 8% of them were actually touch points to this video that didn't come from us sharing it, but it came from YouTube recommending our content to other end users. And so we're able to start to see how the platform influences the views and the impressions. And so the more you dig into your data and analytics, I just want you to take some time. Open up the screen where you can get a sense of the metrics that are there. Take a bit of time to play with them, look at them, hover over them so that you can get more information about them, so that you can learn a bit more about your content and what that means for your end user. At the end of the day, it might cause you to shorten, for example, the length of your video instead of extending it. It might also cause you to recommend additional videos each Sunday, or create a playlist of all of your videos, so it's more likely that your own content would be shown once the video is complete. When you continue within the analytics section of your Facebook page, you'll see that there's a section for videos, and that videos section within Insights will allow you to get a sense of a bit more about the engagement related to the video itself. And so here we have the number of minutes viewed at 1,136. So let's see, we had 16 hours over in YouTube. That puts us at 18 hours over in Facebook. That's with 125 1-minute video views, 741 10-second video views, and 1,418 3-second video views. You can show there that a lot of engagement happened on Facebook, but they were quick touch points, 10-second, 3-second views with less than 30-second average video watch time. And so that means that there was definitely more reach, but as it pertains to audio retention, it does seem like there was an higher average video time on YouTube than on Facebook. So if you recall, the video average watch time on YouTube was 6.5 minutes of the 22-minute video. The video average watch time on Facebook is just 30 seconds of that 22-minute video. And so the pattern is about the same as it pertains to this video going on and end users engaging with it on YouTube and Facebook. But the overall amount of time spent with the content, it's definitely different. The video uploaded directly to Facebook had 1,300 views, more than 12 times the number of YouTube videos. However, the video uploaded directly to YouTube had a 6.5-minute average retention rate versus the 30-second retention rate for the audience on Facebook. I don't know what the conclusions are going to be for you, your church, or your data, but I just want you not to be afraid of the data. What you might be able to learn from them about your core audiences, your congregation, your growth audiences, your online visitors. Hopefully, this is just enough to encourage you to dive straight into your data.